even game here in the opener. All solo laners using their teleports right back to lanes. And junglers here finishing up and coming right back to the bottom lane. I don't think there's going to be any further action, but remember that the flash from Ruler is still on cooldown, as is his barrier. So in their attempts to push in this lane as well, there's a little bit of a dangerous timer. That's why Canyon is hovering here on the control ward.
Yep. Making sure that he's there for a counter gang big spot. Skewmond out as Canyon looking to move in, but Ruler is already in so much trouble. First blood to Hans Sama. Going to be able to flash because he does not have it. He isn't going to invest in anything else, but still that was a little bit dicey.
Yeah, I would say the next possible repeat kill could be on Seraphine on bottom. What?
Well, speaking of which, yeah, Duro just caught in rotation. There's the colossal smash. And GenG are on the board. Duro is going to be punished for it, though. Going to be needing to play through later on in the game.
We got to emphasize the utility here with the early deaths, because the damage the damage might not be there.
Well, Chovy does not quite find a taunt there, and another hook from Lebrov is fantastic. They could be able to take the Gargoyle down, and in fact, they absolutely will, as Caps manages to get that last hit before, as it is going to be secured there by Skewmon. Now Broken Blade gets into that front line, but he's taking a lot of damage. Knockout from the Q only connects onto Canyon. He's not too worried about it with that Crescent Guard running as Kiin gets into that backline, but doesn't have the dominance, and there is the bullet time, but it's eaten by Chovy's heroic exit. Move over there. Teleport is going to bring Broken Blade into the fight, but this Baron is going down extraordinarily quickly. Ruler just pumping these arrows into it. Lebrov making his way over. And Skewmond off towards the back of the pit, but it looks like they might just be rushing this one down. Can the steal actually come on through? Skewmond waiting to get on in there, flashes forward. Who's going to get the smite? It is going to go to G2! As Canyon with that Crescent Guard just desperately trying to stay alive. But Broken Blade gets into the back line. Justice Punch is decent there from Chovy as well, trying to hold him in position as he goes golden at the same time. GenG still kind of alive in the fight, and Cap says no, they are not alive in this fight. Atlas down they will go as he wipes out the bottom lane. The Grand Starfall's there as well.
It can get very scary for the Alistair. We'll have the Unbreakable, of course. Ultimate providing a lot of assistance, but Duro set his sights onto Hans.
Yeah, he's going in, doesn't find the Pulverize though, unfortunately, as Ruler has to deal with the door out of Lebrov, and Duro is just dead. First blood going over to Hans Sama once again, 2 games in a row, and Ruler
position to pull G2 across the map.
They're going to dive on top of Lebrov here as well, who is rotating down to try and protect this mid lane. He should be going down, although stands beside Skewmond here, who gets into that front lane. Now the teleport in from Broken Blade will be interrupted there by Canyon, but not for long, as Kiin is going to get taken out first. Lebrov still amongst it as they take down the cow. G2 cannot be stopped.
I have a lot of 80 carries on the MVP.
I know, right? It's just like armor boots are the way that Kiin forced to flash.
Yeah, final hour does come down there as well, as he is on the gravity well. The Arcane Storm comes down, and I don't think he's going to be able to survive this one. The AoE damage just a little bit too much. Broken Blade might be punished for it, as Nevermind just limps out of the way. And is even thinking about coming back for more, as Duro now possibly in trouble as Caps. A lot of damage available to himself as well, as Canyon just nowhere that he can go, as the flash through from Skewmond should be the end of him as Hans Sama finishes it off. And in the meantime, the cow is also dead to G2 here, as that is a cleanse to come on out here. GenG still trying to look for a little bit of a punish, as Duro in that front line will be able to stun up Broken Blade. Silver Bolt's coming on down as Chovy diving on in there, finds the charm onto the Cassante. A decent pulverize onto 2, but Broken Blade just flashes his way out. A lot of damage here from Caps as well, but he's very low on mana. There's the all-out to make sure that Kiin is just destroyed in this battle, and GenG just did not have enough. GenG just not a lot of options here in this game, as Canyon wanted to find a cease and desist, but he's going to take the kitchen sink for it. He'll be taken down. Caps is now on a rampage. Very much dead. All right, well, there's the pulverize onto 3. Let's see whether they can actually find an angle as G2. These wallets are so heavy as Caps does get exhausted for a few moments. They've taken down Hans Sama. There's the shutdown going over to Kiin as Caps goes golden for a moment, but I don't think he's escaping this one. Wants to take Chovy with him, but it's not going to quite be enough, as GenG have found a team fight out of nowhere. Still, they'll need a few more of these if they want to win the game, and it's a decent start for a comeback. Keeps telling me and I keep getting it wrong. All right, Chovy looking for a bit of an angle as Skewmond, my goodness, taking so much damage here, as does need to invest everything to try and escape. And the Grim Deliverance is fantastic. Skewmond's just being a menace. He will respawn as well. And unfortunately, Canyon does not have the same luxury. This is all around the world, as barrier going to need to be used there from Ruler. Now Canyon in a bit of trouble here. Level 5 to level 6. The Cataclysm does come out, gets the flash, and Canyon just has to get out of there.
That is so classic Canyon.
Oh, the flash forward and first blood to Caps!
I understand having that extra mobility in the earlier spike is also something a lot of teams see. Ulti.
Yeah, Kiin does get into his mist, but everyone else is able to pile in there as well. The needlework trying to keep him alive. It's, can he find the snip as Caps comes over and he's going to help lock down this Gwen. The knock rule that was caught out does throw down the snare, but that does stop the Jarvan from doing too much. We'll find him once again as Dura taking a lot of damage. Cataclysm comes down, holds him down with the Pop Blossom, but I have a feeling he's still dead. There it is, last auto attack is going to do it, and now with LeBron, so much shield for Skumond here is now Chovy in trouble as Broken Blade just kills him. What was that? Oh my goodness.
Right,
G2 are just winning everywhere.
So Broken Blade is looking at his
It has to be.
Yeah, ults underneath, gets hit by the tower shot. He flashes, taunts. He just straight up kills him. That's crazy.
The Q autos just do so much with Titanic.
And then once Broken Blade gets his Dusk and Dawn, Broken Blade is laughing at him. And Skumond's actually going to maybe go for a fight.
Yeah, finds a knock-up onto Canyon, who immediately has to start flash away. The Cataclysm's gigantic. Pop Blossom is decent this time around, though, and Ruler is free-hitting still. They lose their Nico. They do get onto the Cogmore, though, and manage to take him down, but it's a double for Caps. He is just obliterating GenG right now, as Kiin will finally turn up and look to try and take down Broken Blade, but they're out of there if they want to be, as maybe they're going to look to turn it. There is the taunt onto Kiin. The flash wants to take down Caps, but it just doesn't work. Into the mist he goes. Snip, snip, goes the Gwen, but still they're trying to hold him at arm's length. Another taunt, another snip, and a polymorph from Lebrov. Kiin will be able to survive as Skumond making his way back once again, and Kiin, I don't think he can do this by himself. The Shuriken backflip comes through, and yes, he is just going to have to try and escape, and I don't think this Jarvan is going to let him. Inhibitor turret as well. I mean, this is just so much pressure, and GenG looks like they have absolutely no idea how to deal with it.
Yeah, they've been completely dismantled.
Great flank angle for the teleport, and Broken Blade just waiting off to the side. Once again, that stands United into a good position. There is a flash forward from Dura. The Emperor's Divide comes down as well as Caps dancing in his shroud, and Chovy so close to dead and will be wiped out. GenG will all follow soon, and G2 do not need an Elder Dragon to take down the LCK first seed.